The head chef realized she had lost her sense of taste, but the king's mother was already demanding that the dishes be served. With no other choice, the chef asked a young girl to help season the food. After tasting it, the girl felt it was too bland, so she added several more spoonfuls of salt until it finally tasted right to her. But the moment the king's mother took a bite, she frowned deeply. Everyone around her tasted it as well and found it almost impossible to eat. Seeing their reactions, the chef believed her loss of taste had been discovered, so she went to the king and offered her resignation. The king saw that the chef had grown too old, so he asked her to choose a successor. Later, when the chef announced the news in the kitchen, the girl suddenly sensed something was wrong. She quickly began tasting different seasonings, only to realize that her own sense of taste was failing too. Terrified that she would also be expelled from the palace, she immediately ran to her teacher for help. Her teacher invited a physician to treat her with acupuncture, but even after several treatments, her taste still did not return. The more food she tried to taste, the more heartbroken she became. As the successor competition drew closer, the girl finally broke down in tears. Her teacher was deeply saddened to see her like this, but she refused to give up on her student. She placed several large shrimp in front of the girl, and told her to cook by instinct alone. The girl hesitated as she stared at the ingredients, but her teacher knew better than anyone how hard she had worked all these years. She encouraged the girl to trust herself and begin cooking boldly. Hearing those words, the girl immediately started preparing the shrimp. Her movements were smooth, fast, and precise, but just as she was about to taste the dish, her teacher suddenly shouted at her to stop. The teacher told her to trust her own judgment, and learn to feel flavor with her hands instead of her tongue. Those words reignited hope inside the girl. She quickly continued preparing the shrimp, seasoning everything through touch, experience, and instinct alone. At last, the dish was complete. Her teacher took a bite but said nothing. The girl lowered her head in disappointment. Then suddenly, the teacher led her to another stove, and asked her to cook the dish once again. This time, the girl calmed herself. She carefully selected the ingredients, and prepared everything in the same rhythm she had practiced countless times before. When the teacher finally tasted the second dish, she could no longer hold back her tears. The girl had succeeded. Tears of joy filled the girl's eyes as well. Now, she was finally ready to stand beside her teacher, and compete together in the successor tournament.